Coffee on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 06:30 to 07 a.m. ish Eastern Daylight Time with me. I got Michael Bathurst. He broadcasts all over the place just like I do. Gentlemen, thank you for coming aboard. Excuse me. Season 2, Week 10. Any recaps from last week anybody wants to cover before we get started with this week?
Go ahead.
Some good football. It's every week. It's getting better and better each week as far as that goes.
It does.
I want to bring. Can I bring up one thing that's
Go.
in that vein? Have you noticed all the young teams are getting stronger
Yes.
Yeah.
as the season goes on? All the old guys like us, not that anybody our age is playing, but the older staff, we'll call them that, pieces to the puzzle, they're falling off. Have you seen how many injuries there are?
Falling off, and I've seen the injuries. Yes, that happens every season. All jokes aside.
Not like this. No. They've never had 10 backup quarterbacks by this time. It's never happened. It's a first.
You sure?
Well, for that one team, right? It was just that one team.
No. We're talking in the league right now.
Go.
That there are 10.
Overall, okay. I see where you're coming from. Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Okay.
And all these teams, they put all their eggs in one basket. And San Fran is known for this. Then gave away a quarterback because they didn't want to pay for him.
Right.
So it's pretty tricky out there right now. Like, quarterbacks are hard to get. A good backup is really hard to get. So Baker Mayfield before was considered a really good backup.
Yes, he was. No, he was supposed to be a starter.
Well, no, but he was considered a backup for a while because things had fallen off. Now he's considered, their franchise guy for now. He's proven enough. But how many quarterbacks this year have been really good, and it's come down to kicking, special teams, and guess what? Interceptions.
The kicking, especially with the 3-point. That's a major factor, I think, so far on a lot of the games. And the backup quarterbacks. The last week's Thursday night game between the Bears and Carolina. That kid, fourth string quarterback. Before a couple weeks before he's playing in college, he's just a walk-in, just on the practice team, and he's playing. And the Bears won last Thursday there with his father. I mean, that's a great story. I know our good friend Ted Hicks called it the toilet bowl, but I mean, watching football, to me, that's greater than the game. Seeing somebody that, and I think you've mentioned it too. You enjoy, Michael, the underdog aspect.
I love young players getting a try, giving them a start, and that is becoming now a league of people who are new to the league. Mm-hmm. And teams every year have to gel and be completely different than they were the year before. There's only ever a couple of key pieces. And I'm noticing right now, and nobody wants to talk about it, but last week you're looking at the Chiefs, and they don't look like the Chiefs when they play teams that are above 500. Miami is the same. If you play a team that's above 500. The only two teams, to me, that looked really solid last week were the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And Philly.
Oh, Philly, yeah.
And Philly, though, I felt that was the first time they had to put overdrive on to win. The rest of the time, it's kind of like they show up. Buffalo should be doing better. Statistically, if you look at their stats, they should win more games than they do. There's got to be problems like coaching.
There's obviously ours, and they're not going to get better unless they clean it up. They've got several areas, and I think it's pretty obvious on what we've seen on the field so far. And what you talked about Kansas City's woes, I think you see a little bit of what is happening on Buffalo is happening with Kansas City.
See, I think with Kansas City, it's more. There's a cap. There's a cap, right? They can only spend so much money, right? And they've got what I consider a lot of players that are not Pro Bowl players. They just don't.
Right.
And I noticed the other day that I don't know if you saw this, but they have filmage of Tyreek Hill going up to Andy Reid and then saying, "I love you, man. Thank you everything you did for me." He's knocking on the door because he knows he's got a better chance to get a ring if he goes back. And there's even rumor that he's willing to take a pay cut to go back.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
And do you know why?
Super Bowl contender.
Nope.
Why?
See, nobody ever talks about the business part.
Go ahead.
If you are anywhere near Travis Kelsey, and if you're anywhere near Patrick Mahomes right now, you are going to be in the endorsement flood.
Oh yeah, that fact. Yeah.
So what? I can make 27 million doing these other things in group conversations, and I can be fed even if I'm not well. And let's say my leg is not what it is, a year from now, then I have a better chance of. And he needs to be around people that love him because he's been always known as the bad boy.
Tyreek Hill.
He almost got arrested.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. So no, I want to hear from you. Come on. Yeah, you can eat it another day.
Here's my thing. No, I'm not. Here's my thing. He may want to go back because he realizes, even though he may not have been getting the ball as much as he did in Miami, he was still part of a team that was going, number one. Number two, he's got his numbers now. When he goes back, they almost got to pay him more. You got to think about that too.
Yeah, well, Michael just said he's willing to take a pay cut.
That's the rumor. He's that's what he has said.
Yeah.
The source says he's willing to take a pay cut, but it won't be a pay cut though. That's the thing. If you're in, like, right now, Travis is Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
He is Hollywood. He is one of the biggest, most recognizable stars
Yes,
in the world because there's pictures where 2 million, 4 million people are watching him kiss. Who cares? The Swifties care.
Mm-hmm.
He's flying all over the world to be with her after concerts on bye weeks. So, and wait till they have kids and they name them.
Well, his brother was commentating on Thursday Night Football there on Twitch. There, I thought was pretty good. And
nice, easy gig at the practice. Nice. So, other than that, I think he should go back. He's an asset to the Dolphins, no joke.
Yeah,
the Dolphins are actually a contender. If it was me, he probably this is his own team. He needs to stay in Miami. They're the future. Miami is the future. Kansas City is a standard. Miami is the future. I think he needs to stay there.
Right. But if we're talking solely about
you're talking right
fame.
Right now. Forget the fame. That man won the number.
Buddy. He loves the limelight. Come on.
Go for it.
He's in the stands. He's doing stuff. He lives for the limelight. Once you get enough money anyways, let's be real. How much money do you need?
Yeah. Well, it depends on some of these guys is the way they live and stuff is like, come on, you can scale it down a little bit, man. Make it last.
Well, we were talking about this the other day. I don't know what show it was, but imagine this. Let's say they paid you, Richard, $10 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in your head going, I'm going to get 10 million because you're young. And then Mr. Government gets it. And half of it's gone. And then there's 5%. Oh, wait. And of your profitable amount, your agent gets 10%.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
And then, right. And they live, like you said, a lot of them live large.
Yeah.
They do live large.
Larger than what they need to.
Right.
Beyond their means, if you will. Beyond their means.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is, I think with the Kelsey brothers there, that I haven't seen the full bit, but I saw clips of it where the one brother that's with Philly and Travis is with them, and they're doing a garden in his backyard, and I'm like, wow, that's something you don't normally see. He's really living within his means and stuff like that. He enjoys gardening and stuff like that, but it's a garden for his family. And it's
well, he was voted. He was voted one of the sexiest men in the world.
Was that Travis?
No.
Oh, the other one?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Probably with the beard.
No, he was. And did you see what he said recently?
No.
No.
He said, "I've been waiting. My wife tells me all the time." He said,
Oh, yeah, he did say that on third. Yes.
yeah, he said,
You're
"My
right,
wife
yeah.
tells me all the time how sexy I am."
Yeah.
He said, I'm upset it took so long." And he
I
said,
just want
"Look,
to know if anybody's lying. Exactly.
yeah," he said, he said, guys with beards that are full
The
full
beard thing.
figured,
Yep. Yeah, the beard thing. Yeah.
full
Yeah. I
figure
remember that.
plus size men now are being honored for their size. So it's like Tony D. This is his time to shine.
Let me give you your time now so I can do my damn show. Ladies and gentlemen, Bathurst wants to cover this. I do find it to be an interesting aspect. I was going to wait till the end, but I'm going to give it to him. Go ahead, Mike. Run with this one.
Well, I want to talk to you about this
Mm-hmm.
because almost every single prospect that we were like losing our minds over
Mm-hmm.
are not really doing that well.
Go for it.
Well, Anthony Richardson, who I was most excited about because I love the underdog, right? And he was the one that was supposed to be the most durable, and it is now out for the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Young, and who's won one game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to be the key to the city. He was supposed to be the flavor. And unfortunately, C.J. Stroud was considered to be not adequate enough and maybe not intelligent enough to play at that level
Right.
because he took some stupid test. And
Yeah.
now they're all that was about, Rich,
What did
was
they draft him at?
2.
He was number 2. Okay.
But the reason they did that was they were hoping if they put this rumor out there that he was going to be a bust,
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the teams could have got him at 7 or 8 or
Right.
9.
Yeah.
So they played him out pretty much.
Well, but that's how dirty it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't care that they're playing with the future of these young men's lives. Like,
No, you don't.
No,
and
this
that
kid's
affects.
this
Go
kid's
ahead.
going somewhere because I'm just looking at the stats for last. I didn't realize he had 5 freaking touchdowns last against the Bucks, and that's he's his overall percentage completion is 62%. You know, so he's progressively going up. If he has another game like this, all he needs is another game like this, and he's probably got it sealed in the second half here. I would say.
Well, and here's the other thing that's not right on both sides of the MVP is it's always a quarterback. It should be the most valuable player.
To a franchise. Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Right. And
Well,
they're
the question
saying,
would bring up then, with that being said, is this guy, if they didn't have this guy, would Houston be where Houston is currently at?
no.
Second in their division right now,
Yeah.
behind the Jaguars. They're only 500. So, but you know, would they be in that position? So,
Good
for
morning,
the
Tina. How you
team-
doing? Thank you for coming through. Good morning.
Hey,
Deb.
good morning, Tina.
But here's the thing that people don't realize. If you have a really good quarterback, young or not, let's say all of us are on the team, okay?
Mhm.
And Tony is a fullback, and I don't know, I'm something, and I'm the kicker. I'm the kicker. If we're doing well, and morale is well,
Right.
and we're selling jerseys, and we're getting some endorsements. I'm talking lower tier players.
Sure.
If we have a staple that is good, and the team can be excited because he could be around 10 years from now.
Yes, he could.
And he's playing already like he's been in the league for 3 to 5 years.
Well, compared to the kid in Carolina, the game last week, he was.
Bryce.
Yeah, I just like this was the first string. You know, they give him first year. I think you know, Josh Allen, his first year wasn't all that great, but he was. I'm thinking this guy's a first string. He should be doing a little bit better than this. And there's the real Ted Hicks is in the chat.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Would like to join. You good, man? Come on in. Read my message too. For some reason, hang on, Mike. Hang on. When I changed my phone, Ted, I can't share the link like I was doing previously, so it's in the league chat. I was trying to forward it to you, and it won't work. So if you can get it from over there, that's probably going to help. I don't know why I can't put it over there when I switch my phone. I'm going to go talk to the people today. Switching phones is a headache, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember I told y'all that. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
You're not sorry, but that's okay.
I apologize, Ted.
This is how we roll, and I get it. And Ted comes first, and I understand this because Ted is the king. And that's the thing, and you have to know your place, even on a team. That's a great segue. Thank you for being here, Ted. And I
Wow.
hope to see you here soon.
So, are you favoring this guy then, Mike? Or as far as?
Oh, I said it last week, and
Okay, yeah.
People thought I was on crack.
Well,
So-
the thing is, with those stats, there's no who's the next closest. I can't even think of who the next closest person would be.
But here's the thing that bothers me is
Yeah.
it'll probably be a quarterback.
Oh,
And yet who I think is aligned maybe is Zay Flowers, depending on how well he does.
mm-hmm.
The truth is Bryce Young on a better team
Okay, yep, yeah.
would do well. So
Yeah.
let's say Bryce Young, because of his size, he ended up with I don't know, Minnesota. Right?
Right.
Let's say he ended up with Minnesota, and where Dobbs is now, who's setting the league on fire in one game.
Yeah.
But we don't give anybody a chance. It's like Will Levis could win.
That's a good point as far as the team that they're on, because the Panthers their percentage is 111 compared to 500 for for Strauss's team there.
Jordan Addison was supposed to also set the league on fire. He's been good.
Yeah.
He's been good.
Yeah.
I didn't think much of Jamar Gibbs. Am I saying that right, by the way?
Jameer.
Jameer. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like tomato, I think. It's a Canadian thing. Puka set the world on fire until he got hurt.
Yes.
He's another amazing, like just so much heart. But Bijan Robinson, it looks hurt.
Bijan Robinson might be. He's been running his butt off.
I saw him running the other day, and he just did not have the same stride. He looked like he was suffering.
He might be exhausted or
It-
overworked as a running back. He's been the cornerstone of their offense.
He reminds me a lot of you if he doesn't get a breakfast sandwich. Like, if you don't get your breakfast sandwich, your stride isn't quite the same.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, you got to get that breakfast sandwich.
Pretty much.
What did you have for breakfast this morning, Fireman Rich?
The missus made, surprising enough, not regular pancakes, but a baking pan of pancakes. So it's square pancakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Ted Hicks in the house. Ted, what's going on, bro?
Eddie.
Ew, what's going on, guys?
We're glad you're here. We know who is the king of this, and we know how it's like Dad has always had favorites.
He can't help it. He
And-
can't help it. He
And
can't help
Tony D is Dad, and we get it, and I understand.
Stop it.
And it's all right. It's all
it.
right.
He can't help it. He
And
can't
I'm
help
okay. I'm okay being in the shadows. I'll get my time.
You were talking about Puka Nakua.
I was.
Go for
It almost
Ted.
it almost sounds like a name from Disney,
It does.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
He's a wonderful kid.
Too
Wonderful.
bad he got hurt.
Well, they all get hurt.
Yeah.
They all
Ted,
get
any
hurt.
aspects from last week you want to cover?
No, not necessarily. I was let down by, of course, the Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. Let it go.
I knew what was going to happen, and I was talking trash to a few LA Charger fans.
Did you bet money?
No,
Is that why you're bitter? What's going on here?
no, it's just
Okay.
we just lost in another big moment on a national window, and we lost.
Okay. Can we be serious for a moment?
If you look in the game, Ted, there wasn't that many turnovers or takeaways, which is, if you look at all the Jets' wins, all their wins, if they don't have any takeaways, they're not going to be scoring any points.
Rich, can I share this with you? I
What's
turned
that?
off the game at halftime and went to
Oh, you
bed.
did? Oh, my God. I'm just wondering how many Jet fans walked out of the stadium.
Oh my goodness.
Ted, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right. I don't think, and this is going to feel blasphemous. I don't think the record would have been that much better with Aaron. I'm sorry. They would have had. Hear me out. I think they would have had 2 more wins.
I tend to
Yes.
agree with you. I think I
agree with you.
And I said at the beginning of the season, all he has to do is get 3 more games than what they got last season, and they'll be good. That's all he has to do.
Now, does he have the ability to be on fire in a playoff game? Yes. Is he wired for that?
Yes.
Yes. Here's what bothers me the most, and people don't want to talk about it. It is a business.
It is.
And those who have the most light on them make the most money from the endorsements. And the money that you make, I can't even start to explain to you, Rich, how much money they make. We don't know.
I'm fully aware they make a boatload of money.
That we don't know about.
Yeah.
All the perks. Do you know what the Kelsey brothers said? Stop bringing us stuff.
Yes.
We're going to have to get a storage unit. Please stop.
Yes.
But that tells you
through our management.
The sport is going. Roger Kraft there of the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
They were asking him the question before the start of the game over in Berlin. What do you see? And they want to, as a business, he was talking to as a business, is to expand out into other avenues, because the bottom line is it's good for the NFL football as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So I think anything they can do, even when they get into, the one thing I like, they got the money and stuff like that. They're throwing money at a lot of charities.
Yes, they do.
And awareness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not, I think they learned from the past. They're not throwing it in your face, but they're because they don't want to. I think they've done that before, and the NBA's done that. And I can tell you first, I turn it off. I don't want to hear that. I just want to watch the sport. Go ahead and say that. And it goes back to the what's his name taking the knee and stuff. They made a big production about that. It's like,
big old stink about it.
Yeah, we're here to watch sports. We want to park it at it's just like if I go in when I was working, everybody had multiple opinions and stuff. Park it at the door, because you focus on what you're there for, and as a business, that's how they're going to survive and become. I think I'm enjoying football so much this year compared to last year. Baseball, after the that's supposed to be the American pastime. I'm like, after the All-Star game, it's like, this is over with. Why am I wasting my time watching this? And I felt that way the last couple seasons. Football has been
Rich,
everything.
You wouldn't feel that way, though. You wouldn't feel that way if we covered baseball, because insanity is going to come down. It's not going to be about baseball.
No, there's something about football, and I can't really. It's just that there's, you got two opposing forces, and it's more defensive than any other sport. Okay, if you have a strong defense and stuff, and then you bring up some of the plays years past, like I jokingly said on Ted's broadcast last week in the chat that Tony got a laugh about. Let's bring back Riggins. I can, that's a memory that I have so many football memories as a kid of that individual just grinding it out and stuff like that.
Those guys are gone. That doesn't exist
True.
now.
No, but I'm just saying it's my bedrock of enjoying the game even more, seeing the younger kids coming in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as far as what you were expressing.
Here's the thing for the room, okay? And I want you to think about it before you say it, Tony. And no smartness here. Just think about it.
You got 7 minutes. It's coming.
Okay. You ready?
6.
Feel the love, man. Feel the love. Get in line here. Okay. The best athlete, all-round athlete of all time. Pick it.
Either Bo Jackson or Dion.
Go Fireman Rich.
I'm just going to say, I'm going to be in that camp that you can't pick just one in football?
No. Overall best athlete. It's someone who could play multiple sports. Who was the greatest athlete of all time?
I can't answer that. It's too wide range and stuff like that. You can't. It's like, well, who's the best basketball? Jordan's, and it's like, who's the best football player? Brady. No, they're one of the greats, because there's greats that are right there. You can't count out the guys that are just like maybe a notch below and stuff. Is there an all-time great? I don't think you can. I don't think there's an answer to that for me.
I think it's a simple answer. I want to hear if Ted knows it. Go, Ted.
It's tough. It's tough because when you point it towards one individual athlete, but these are individual athletes playing team sports versus if I'm a tennis player or I'm a golf player, then that's an individual athlete. But if you're gonna say, hey, individual player playing team sports, then Tony mentioned Bo Jackson, short run, and or Deion Sanders as multiple sports. But there's so many other individual players that have dominated their game.
Yeah. Well, I think Tony was close. So Deion Sanders was asked the same question. And they said to him, "Are you the best athlete that ever played multiple sports?" And he said, "Michael Jordan and I can't hit a curveball to save our lives. Bo Jackson could."
Yes.
He said they made us look silly. Bo Jackson could have been one of the best baseball players forever, but he decided to play football. He said, "I did not have the acceleration or like he carried that massive body and still had wonderful speed."
Yes, he did.
Michael Jordan was good. He said, honestly, Michael Jordan was not a baseball player. This is what he said.
Well, everybody saw that.
Hey, I do
Charlie
want to.
Ward. Charlie
Can I
Ward
double
had
back?
2 strokes under his belt. Charlie
Tony,
Ward
can I
was
double
football
back real
player.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Want to double back with Rich on the love of the game. The football will be number one, forever in the United States.
Well, if it keeps on going the way it's going, they have to watch that they don't
Right.
do something.
There was an issue in between 15 and let's say, I don't know, 20 between presidential elections, which was ultra toxic with the candidates, and it spilled into, because what did we always say? We always said, we like to turn to sports to get away from the other noise.
Yeah.
But it was when the other noise spilled into our sports and we were like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is this a part of,
I think that's just a human thing that people are going to express their views and stuff like that. And I guess they were looking at that as a soapbox to get on. And myself personally, it's like, nah, I'm not, just like, I'm not in that. My children's 3rd grade teacher, she's a diehard Bruce Springsteen. I love Bruce Springsteen, but then during that same time period, he would get up on his, so he has every right to say whatever he says. But I just paid $150 for this ticket to listen to your music. Put your views in like a newspaper or something. You don't need to be preaching, and a lot of artists, I think they feel they have that. And I don't know if they do or they don't. It's their concert, and then it's their sport and stuff like that. But I think it's more of a turn off now because of the crap that's going in that area that you just mentioned.
And follow up to Mike before I jumped on about Tariq Hill. Tariq Hill, so talented, has a lot of issues off the field.
Yes.
Was catching 100 passes a year in a Patrick Mahomes offense. A Patrick Mahomes led offense. Wasn't happy. Money doesn't give you everything. You get the money, you're in Miami. He's still catching 100 passes, but he's veering over and seeing what those guys are doing.
Hey Tony, I'm going to interject on what Ted just said, and you probably heard this saying when you transfer from one base to the other. Everybody's saying, "Oh, I can't wait till I get to my other base," and then when the grass isn't greener on the other side.
Yes, I got Sammy in the chat. Sammy is one of the people that I talked to in Cantina. She does follow fantasy football. Sammy, if you want to come up, the door will be open. Gentlemen, I don't want to cut y'all close. I don't want to cut y'all short, but I want to go ahead and get this started. Shout out to Ted with the New York Jets tight end on the side.
This reminds me of the other night.
What other night?
When things went sideways.
It's
We
not
started
going
talking about
well.
politics.
This is actually
No, but it's not about politics. It's not about politics.
No, but it always is when we have you in the room.
Nancy, how you doing?
It's about the game we love.
It is about the game we love. I'm gonna go ahead and get this ball rolling. Let me get started over here because y'all jokers. Good conversation, though, honestly.
I'm being Ted.
Here we go. See. Mike gonna try it.
7, 9, 12. 7, 9, 12. Oh, he's upset. 7, 9, 12.
I was actually waiting for Tim to pop up, and Tim's actually, he said he's gonna try to get here if he can. So I'll go ahead and try to get the ball rolling for the most part.
Okay, we'll be quiet. Sorry, buddy.
I'm just want to get to the focus, and then we can fill
Ted,
it up.
you behave. Okay.
See what we got here. We're gonna start with the quarterbacks. Start them and sit them quarterbacks for Week 10. Fantasy Football League, NFL.com. Ladies and gentlemen, they are recommending start Dak Prescott over the Giants. I got no debate over this.
No, it's the Giants. That's all you got to say.
It's the Giants. Wait. I know you don't want to hold up, Tony. I'm sorry to slow it down. This is going to be like a 3-hour.
I'm actually taking this because every time I go into y'all's broadcast, I do this. I'm going to take this for a couple of weeks. I'm really going to take this for a couple of weeks. You know, I have an agenda.
And listen, when he's done, I want to talk not over Ted, but after Ted.
I just want to say, Tommy DeVito, starting quarterback for the New York Giants.
I saw that.
You saw it, right?
That. Y'all go for it if you want to. If you're a Giants fan, you're having a bad season, just like us Jets fans.
It's just I think it's I like it. He's the third string quarterback. He's now the starting quarterback, and guess what? He's 25 years old and he still lives at home.
He's 25 years old, still lives at home, but he probably didn't get a decent contract yet. Daniel Jones just got paid.
25 years old,
and then he
lives at home. His mom still makes his lunch and dinner and washes his clothes.
Wow.
Really, Ted? Really?
It dropped today. They were talking about it today. Are
you serious?
Yes.
Ted, what has this got to do with Dak Prescott? I'm just curious.
That they're facing the Giants today.
Exactly. Bathurst, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
That's it. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I'll give you that. So Dak right now is paid all of his teammates to say that he should be MVP because they must be watching another show, another game, another league. There's people announcing that Dak Prescott should be MVP of the year. I'm like,
get out of here.
You guys are delusional.
His numbers may reflect it, but the games won't. His numbers. He's playing actually good. They're actually giving him rave reviews for his playing. It's just that the record isn't showing it based on the reviews and the confidence people have behind him. They are great with him as a quarterback. They just want him to get a damn Super Bowl. That's all it is. If the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, nobody's impressed.
When he runs, he looks like he's carrying a wheelbarrow. Okay. He doesn't look like a fluid runner. Like you look at Dobbs. Dobbs looks like he could get in the end zone anytime.
Yes.
So I don't have that. We have that same thing with Lamar. Lamar's dangerous. And because he's dangerous, we're talking Lamar Jackson, sorry.
Because he's exciting football. Sammy, I sent you a link if you're able to come up. If not, I understand, but the door is open. Thank you for being here. I'm starting Dak if I had him on my roster, no question. Jared Goff of the Lions against the Chargers, you have to. And I'm going to tell you why. Mike asked me this a couple of days ago. We got a question in the chat. Would you start Kyler today?
Oh, yeah.
I started Kyler. I picked up Kyler. He's on the scrap heap, and I'm starting him today.
Rich, who does Arizona have today?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons. And
I think so. I talked about this earlier this week with Mike. I think we talked about this already. I don't blame anybody for starting him. You would have to.
You have to. He is one of the most electrifying players to ever play. Gotcha. When he's good, like he is
Elliot,
like a bullet.
And Tua is on bye week.
Yeah. Elliot, I appreciate you coming through. Go ahead and start Kyle. I got no problem with that. Jared Goff against the Chargers. I think this is going to be the most exciting game today. This is two high-powered offenses. Two, I'll say, pretty decent defenses, in my opinion. This is going to be a good game, if you ask me. Both teams can get at least 25, 30 points apiece. It's a matter of
easily, yeah.
Who's going to stop who is the question. Would I start Kyler Murray over Stroud? Hell no.
No,
I'm gonna shut the three of them up right now. There ain't no way in the hell I would start anybody over Stroud right now, based on the record he's been going on for the past few games. No, you start Stroud and you put Murray in the backup. I'll be wrong. You can come scream at me next week. You can cuss me out all in the chat next week. If Kyler Murray puts up better numbers than Stroud, unless Stroud has an injury, You start Stroud. Period. End of story. I thank you for coming through. Who we got here? Melanie, how you doing? Where were we? Yeah, the Lions and the Chargers. Yeah, you got to start Jared Goff. You have to. You have to.
You're not bringing something up here though that's really important.
What you got?
Los Angeles is so banged up.
Go for it. Go.
All their receivers right now are screwed up. They're a mess.
Okay.
And the one thing I love about the Chargers is they have really tall players.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is throw it high enough that they can catch it. Those weapons that they have, guess what, are injured.
So what about the Lions? How's their roster looking?
The Lions are beat up as well, more defensively than they are offensively. But the truth is, we never know. Once you get into mid-season, everybody's hurting.
Absolutely, without question.
You
Matter
know,
of fact, what the Raiders did, Antonio Pierce for the Raiders, I think he's the coach now. Apparently, there was a story where he had all of the practice squad on the sideline. He said, they got a uniform, they're going to be there. To me, that means everybody who's out there playing, your ass is on the line. Somebody's here to replace you. Fuck up if you want to. When you
yeah,
got
but here's the thing, though, Tony.
Go for it.
The players now are so good. Even the backups are so good. The level of play now is
Because
unbelievable.
They are there to play. Nobody wants to put a uniform on and not be on the field.
The other thing is, too, you have owners that are paying all this money, and even when players are not playing well, they want them on the field because they have to justify the money they spent.
Absolutely. Smoke, what's good? I'm starting Jared Goff. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm starting Jared Goff. CJ Stroud over the Bengals. Absolutely. You have to start him. Who do we have here? The brand new member of the broadcast, Tim. Thank you, Tim. How you doing, sir?
Timmy.
Feel the love.
Let's see. What's going on, Tim?
What's going on, Tim? Can you hear us?
He's working his system out.
Okay. Some people would say if you couldn't hear us, it might be a blessing.
He's all right.
Okay.
Tim, when you get a chance to say something, let us know you can hear us, one of the two, if not both. We see you.
We can hear you, I think. Say hello.
Let's see, 1 second. I am not hearing.
Okay. We hear you. We hear you.
Do you want to drop down and come back up? Maybe that.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep, I hear you.
You good? How you doing, bro?
Fantastic. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
We just started off after a little 30-minute segment of conversation. We're doing the quarterbacks right now.
Tim, this is Ted. Ted, this is Tim. You guys haven't met?
And before he runs all over us, Tim is his favorite, and then maybe Ted. Oh, wait, no, I got that wrong. He loves Ted. And
now who's running over who is my question.
Who's running over who?
Who's zooming who? Okay.
I don't think anybody has any debate with starting CJ Stroud.
Last week, all I kept doing was saying Tim and Ted and Ted and Tim, and then you finally went, I'm Tim.
Mike. I gave you 30 minutes earlier. You wait your turn. Tim, give us a minute. We're going to run through the quarterbacks. CJ Stroud over the Bengals. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get this to Tim since he just got here. Do you have any debate against this? Recommended CJ Stroud against the Bengals this week in fantasy football?
None at all. I would put him in.
Absolutely. Anybody have any debate on this?
Oh, I think you have two of the best quarterbacks in this game. It's going to be fun.
I think this might be another exciting game just as well. There isn't any question.
Tony, is this a 1 o'clock game or is this a late window?
I do not know.
Okay. Stand by. I'll check. I think it's a 1
Go ahead, check it. Brock Purdy of the 49ers against the Jaguars. I know the 49ers do have injuries.
Yeah, it is a 1 o'clock game on CBS.
Okay.
Gotcha. I will start Brock Purdy against the Jaguars. Mike, what you think?
Brock Purdy is a mess. I'm sorry.
Okay. Go for it.
His confidence is shaken. But here's the thing: they really don't have anybody of quality to back him up, and this is putting all your eggs in one basket. He could also be injured. We don't know. But when he is on and he has all the weapons, he's phenomenal.
Right.
But everyone has been saying for a very long time he's a middle tier quarterback.
So what made him a top tier quarterback in your eyes would be my question.
I think he has great coaching around him. I think if you had Bryce Young on this team, he would suddenly be great.
I like that. I like how you did that.
You don't like anything I do.
I like how you did that.
And you're pointing at me. Do you see
Yes,
that? He's
I
pointing
like
at
how
me.
you did that. That was pretty slick. I like that. That's almost kind of
I got a question for Mike.
Go ahead.
Mike, did John Lynch jump the gun in Trey Lance?
No.
Okay.
I say yes. I say yes.
No. Not at all. Because
What's
he's
your
not a
take?
proven.
What's your take,
He's not a
Rich?
proven commodity, and he's too much money.
I say
They're paying Brock nothing.
so. Trey Lance is going to cost him too much because they drafted him in the first round. Is what you're saying?
It was $5 million
Yeah, but he was
to
supposed to
sit
be,
on the bench. They're paying Brock less than $1 million. I think it's slightly more than $1 million.
So they're getting over on Brock Purdy. Is what you're saying?
I think you could throw Ted in. I think that'd be better.
I say do it. Nothing against anybody. I just want to try to keep this moving. Yes, Brock Purdy against the Jaguars, without question. Even though the Jaguars are on the come up, you see their record is 6-2. They're doing
The
good.
Jaguars, just to say who's going to win, I think the Jaguars are at home. They'll probably win this game and stuff.
They're going to smoke them.
This will be a big win for the Jaguars.
Jaguars are going to smoke them.
I'd risk it.
And I think
Geno
Debo
Smith
Samuel is
gets
back
the
this week as well.
Oh,
This
this
man
is a
right
good
here-
game. This
This
is a
man
good
right
game.
here is in trouble. I'm actually watching a lot of people talking. They're starting to talk again. They're losing faith in him, and I hate to see it. I hate to say it. Matter of fact, he was the quarterback I was going to draft my fantasy league this season based on what he did last season. So his numbers dwindling is not a good look to me. He's going up against the Commanders. I've always said it. You don't know what they're going to do, but I know they can stop you. This is not good right here for him at all.
I roll with Seattle regardless.
Same here, but I think Geno, he's not showing up to his potential.
Gotcha. Tim, what you got, bro?
I probably, if I had another option, I would take it over Geno myself. If there was another option,
For
I
this
probably
game
would go
specifically-
with Howell over Geno.
For this game specifically or for the season will be what I would ask you.
Oh, for this game specifically, definitely not. Neither one for the season for me.
Can you say that again? So I heard you properly. Go ahead.
You did. I would probably go
Exactly.
with Howell.
I think we actually agree on something. Somebody call somebody.
I'm quite sure you will. We'll wait.
Question for Tony D.
Yes, sir.
Just to slow things down.
Yes, sir.
So Tone, do we forget what Geno Smith was years 1 through 7?
No,
Okay, he had one good season.
which is great, phenomenal.
He's been a journeyman,
Mm-hmm.
and now, even in a good system, they caught up to him.
I think it
I disagree. Do you know what the missing factor is?
Go ahead.
He had a coach, a specialized coach that helped him. That's actually been helping out Dobbs.
Oh, okay.
And who's doing well this year?
Dobbs.
Mhm.
Right. Now, does he have the legs of Dobbs? The other thing is, too, we talked about this, and Tony got very upset. I said older guys don't run fast. And then suddenly Rich was going to race me and smoke me and all this other stuff. And I was,
I lost my comments. Damn it.
we
Sorry.
have them. We have them. One person says here, not since Moses came down the mountain has there been such a man as Tony D. And I
Who said
agree.
that?
Go ahead.
Where do you come up with that filibuster is all I want to know. Where do you come up with these filibusters? Jesus. Yeah, Geno against the Commanders, I don't feel too good against this, but he should still be able to do something. If you need a streamer, they're recommending Baker Mayfield against the Titans. I've got no debate on that. They're also recommending Will Levis of the Titans against the Bucks. So they pretty much want to put both quarterbacks against each other in the same game. See, this is where fantasy football gets crazy. Suppose you pick players on opposing teams on your roster and the games they're against each other. I almost had that happen one time. I had the quarterback from one team and the defense of another, the quarterback of that first team and then the tight end of the other. And the whole game just got me points all over the place. This is where fantasy football gets fun. People don't understand when you play fantasy football, you almost have to watch every damn game. This is the best thing for the NFL. I've heard people more than once over the past 10 years say they don't understand fantasy football for the life of themselves. I will tell you what it is. You will have a favorite team. Then you will like another team. Then you will like how a team plays. Then you will like players. And then your player will get traded to another team. And then you got to watch a whole other division and then a whole other conference. And then when the Super Bowl comes, you still don't know what the hell to do with yourself. This is why football is never ending.
Yeah.
It has happened. If you don't know, they've been doing this for 20 years. I know because people tried to get me to play fantasy football since the early 2000s. I just started 2009. This is what's going on. You're watching everybody and everything, and then you got to watch all the teams. It does happen. I know we had a commercial on Twitch. That's my bad. I can't take the damn comment down. I don't even know how the hell to do this.
I know. Thank you. I thought you were scatting.
Yeah,
There. It was so fast. That was the old 20D.
You know the bad part, Mel? That's because I get focused. Some of these folks.
That's our tone.
I think you get overamped.
This is my
We almost need
sidebar right
text
now.
on him.
You know what's wrong with a bunch of y'all on the internet? Y'all just want to say what y'all want to say. Y'all don't listen to shit. It's like when you go to school and you got to pass the test. When you took the SAT, you was rushing. Stop playing with me.
Hey, and you know what, Tony? What you just said about fantasy,
Yes,
it
sir.
completely changed my football experience.
Yes, sir.
As far as the NFL goes, you know, I find myself wanting to see the Jets or certain teams that I may have never wanted to watch play, and you want to see where your points are coming from. Are they showing up in those games? And it has changed the whole dynamics of watching football. It's like when you learn how to do video editing, you never watch television the same because you're noticing when they didn't white balance the camera. You notice the edits and the jump cuts that were in a bad place.
On the fight scenes, Tim. I took
Exactly.
television communication and production at vocational school and high school. I couldn't watch the same movie for nothing. I was like, I see what you did there. I see what you did.
And I totally agree with you, Tim. I worked at a place where they were filming, and I saw all the work that was involved in it, the hurry up and the wait, and I saw, the countless hours they did it, and I also now find myself looking at the background,
right,
and the lighting. So in some ways, it's destroyed the movie experience. But now that we're talking about fantasy football, it's bragging rights. If you do well, it's bragging rights. The other thing is it's the pursuit of being seen at your workplace as the winner. It's another way to make a little bit of money, but I think it's for most people bragging rights.
I think for a lot of folks, everybody swears up and down what they would do with a team if they was in charge. Fantasy football gives you the opportunity to do it. DraftKings gives you the opportunity to do it. All these gamblers say you can put a team together, but you got a budget. Now, the reality of DraftKings that I got to give them respect for, and I will talk about some of these gamblers since I don't care. This is mine. Nothing against anybody up in here. Please don't doubt the people who are up here with me. This is mine. I'm talking my shit. Sorry. When you do DraftKings, you have a budget. When you hear this cap space, that's what you're dealing with. You can only spend so much on any player. You can't get every player. So you got to watch every damn body to see which ones you can get who may slide up in the numbers, who may get that opportunity if somebody gets hurt, and who may play a position due to somebody else getting in trouble. You got to watch all these factors. So your brain is never ending. That's another reason why I can talk fast, because I'm always thinking about something else. There you go.
It turns you into a GM.
It does. It turns into a GM, and also make sure that your brain keeps going. Baker Mayfield against Titans and Will Levis against the Bucks. They're recommending them as streamers based on the fact of other quarterbacks being injured. Like Mike was saying earlier, there's a lot of injuries in the NFL, and they're running.
And he's still due for a great game. He has not had a great game, I don't think, Michael.
Who, Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, I think he's due for a big game. This
Melanie, don't tell everybody. I agree with you, Rich. I agree with you. If you don't have any other quarterbacks, I do see you getting both of them. Matter of fact, I want to give a shout out to touring the AFC South. My man Mike Patton, he was talking about Will Levis before the season started. Ted, you remember that?
Yes.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Sit him. Kyler Murray against the Falcons. Didn't we just have this question?
We just had it.
We just
Don't
had
say
it.
him.
Today.
Yeah, it's good. But Tim wasn't here. Tim, I'm interested. Oh, you're already past the other one. You didn't even let Tim say anything.
Oh, I'm good at Levis. I'm okay with Levis. I would go with Levis myself.
Why do you like Levis?
I just think he has, he has a little mobility, and it's just one of those where if I just had to choose, I wouldn't go with either one again if I had other options. But if I had to pick someone, especially between those two, I would just go with Levis. There's less footage on him, so he has probably more potential to catch people off guard than Baker Mayfield does.
Good point. Good point. Ted, what do you think?
About?
Yeah, all you're doing is reading the comments.
That's all I'm doing.
He's on another storyline right now. He's left the building. He's like Elvis.
Wait, are we talking about Kyler Murray?
Ted, where are we?
Yes.
Do you know what Ted? Do you know what day it is?
But wait, in the last segment in the B
Hi,
block.
Alan. We
Hey, hold
see you.
on.
Thank you for
Ellen,
being
how
here.
you doing?
Hey, Spunky.
You have to explain the Pookums.
Yeah, I
No,
was curious about
No,
that.
I don't.
Please explain the comment before. It was something about Tony getting excited and going
No,
really fast.
I
And
knew
then
you'd leave it.
there was a no comment by Helen right after that, and then that's where I kind of
Lost your mind.
yeah.
Tim, excuse me for a second. See, as of right now, Ted and Bathurst are the same.
I'm not stirring anything. No, I stir the pot. Ted does this. He's the button pusher.
Okay, button pusher.
So wait, we were talking about Kyler Murray. In the last
you're back
segment,
there.
I told you guys I'm starting Kyler Murray.
Yes.
I said I picked him up
You did say
and I'm
that.
starting him
Say it
against
again,
the
because
Falcons.
it sounds like a
No,
pasta
don't
dish
repeat
when you
yourself
say
because
it.
Mike is delaying the inevitable. But then I said I want to get this done inside of an hour and you can't stop.
No, this is definitely not.
No,
This is
it's
2
not.
hours.
It's screwed. It's screwed off the rip. I know. Sam Howell against the Seahawks. I don't know about this. I wouldn't start him either. So you're going to sit Kyler Murray against the Falcons. That does not mean we have an immediate throwback.
What?
Throwing it back to the starting line. Murray will play his first game since week 14 of last year.
Yeah.
Both last season in his career, 30% of his fantasy points came from rushing production. I don't think his typical rushing production will be there in the first game back. I agree with that. See, this is why I wouldn't start, because he's just coming back. Of course, he's going to want to be out there, but God forbid if something else goes wrong, that team is screwed. And I watched this game on New Year's. I was actually in Atlanta watching the Falcons and the Cardinals. The Cardinals actually do play good football. Don't be fooled. To be there to see a game live instead of watching on TV gives you another aspect, and I have to give them their respect. It was good, tough, decent football. And Atlanta, I dare say, struggled to beat them. They had to pull a little bit out of the rule book just to win the game in the end, which a lot of people are controversial about, but that's what the game is. I wouldn't start him either. Sam Howell of the Commanders against the Seahawks? No, I would not start him. No.
Why not?
Because even though people have no respect or they don't feel the same about the Legion of Boom like they used to, that still doesn't mean the Commanders are going to beat the Seahawks. They got something again. They got something to beat the Commanders with. It's just a matter of whether or not the Commanders are going to stop them. And it sounds very cliche, but you have to watch football to understand where I'm coming from.
Tony, you know that Sam has some of the highest stats.
I think you told me that a couple of weeks ago, yes, but I wouldn't trust it against the Seahawks.
The Seahawks were flat last week.
Last week, how have they been this season?
What do you think, Tim and Ted?
Seahawks all day.
You see that record, 5-3? They can beat them.
Yeah.
They can beat them. Tim, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I would go with Sam. Yeah, I would go with him.
Go for it.
And I think he has potential to do a pretty good job. So he's one of those as well. He has the talent, and it's a matter of how the rest of the team shows up. So I think I would start him. I would be willing to try it. But again, this is that caveat that with people being on bye, which I've gotten caught up in, so I had to go out and find some people to replace my guys. And Sam would be the one of all the ones that I've seen so far. He probably would be the first pick of the ones that are on the sit-em list at this point.
I got you. Rich,
Hey,
Rich, I
Mike.
see you in the comments. I appreciate you holding it down.
Yeah, no problem. No,
Let me get Rich's.
we got cross platforms here and stuff like that.
Let me get Rich's take before you go, Ted. Go ahead, Rich.
I would
I
probably,
just
I
need
guess,
to-
I would agree with Tim as far as I don't know what is he going to do anything against the Seahawks, because the Seahawks again, I've been saying this all season, they're tough at home. I think I have the Seahawks win that game, so I'm not sure if he's going to be that much of a factor. But if you're in that bye week thing, when we have several teams on bye week, yeah. Hey, Brian.
Brian's in the house. We got Brian, the original co-host, in the house. Brian, what's good? I didn't think he was going to make it, but I'm glad you're here, bro.
Yeah, we got done
It's
early.
almost a full house.
We got done early. I only worked like an hour and a half, and then they said, "Well, everything looks good, everything checks out, so we'll just give you another." We're like, "We'll write everybody an extra 4 hours of work." So I'm like, "Cool, we got 5.5 hours today."
Cool.
Take it.
We're glad you're here, buddy.
Sam Howell against the Seahawks? I wouldn't start him. No.
Hey,
hang on.
Just one comment for
Go ahead.
Mike. Mike,
Mhm.
you said the Seahawks are flat. They're tied for first place in the NFC West.
Here's a statistical thing that which I know that Tony doesn't like, but one of the big problems that Sam had was he was getting sacked like crazy. The sacks are half, and the younger teams are gelling better now. The older teams are hurt. Young guys heal faster.
Yes, they do.
Unless their name is Rich, and then he will basically race you around the block and smoke you.
Zing! I had to get that zing in.
No, it's true. It's true. There's no zing.
He can't help it. Ted, you see it? He can't help it.
See?
They say to sit Deshaun Watson of the Browns against the Ravens. I hate to say it. Deshaun Watson was going to be my backup quarterback for the season. Had I had my
Hey, I'm gonna
original
drop down
roster.
for a minute.
He's not going to do good against the Ravens because the Ravens are no joke. Gentlemen, your thoughts. I want to start with Brian since Brian just got here. Brian, Deshaun Watson to be sat down against the Ravens. What do you think?
Absolutely. Deshaun Watson has lost his step. He's not playing as well. All the people in Cleveland are pissed off. Even our resident Sasquatch, he's upset. So yeah, and the Baltimore's Ravens, I mean, the defense is very, very they're stingy, they're hungry, they're taking no prisoners right now.
Right. Tim, what do you think?
And nice Julius Peppers jersey, by the way.
Appreciate it. Old school. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, he doesn't seem connected to me. You know, when I've seen him play, just he's always been a very nonchalant personality for the most part. It's you see him excited every now and then, but it just seems different. And he's gotten that huge contract. And what I've noticed is that a lot of players, when they get that huge contract, they tend to fall off at times.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ted had to drop out, ladies and gentlemen. He has to go do family business. Ted, thank you for coming through. In all honesty, all jokes aside, I appreciate you being here. I got no debate against this. I hate to say it. I hate to admit it. Deshaun Watson was supposed to break out this season. This season, he does not look like he was worth the money that the Cleveland Browns spent on him.
This is going to be a good game, too.
I think the Ravens are going to stomp him.
Sock 'em game.
I think the Ravens are going to stomp him. Jordan Love with the Packers. Do not start him against the Steelers. I got no debate against this either. I got no debate. I don't.
Yeah, Jordan Love is he's playing like he's a rookie all over again.
He is a rookie, isn't he?
He's lost his confidence.
How would you say that is so?
In so many ways. They had such high hopes for him.
Yes,
They had
did.
him propped up. And I love what Tim has said earlier. The longer you're in, the greater time they have to look at your tape and look at your weaknesses and your
Yes.
patterns. And they've had enough time now to understand his Achilles heel, and they know how to get him.
Yeah, he becomes predictable. That happens to a lot of players. I agree 100%.
Right.
Rich, what do you think?
Jordan Love, I don't think he's going to do anything against Pittsburgh. He just he's gone downhill. He's below middle of the road. Packers, I don't know. They're I wouldn't start him. If I had somebody better, I wouldn't use him. But then again, you go back to the bye weeks and stuff like that. If this is the best you can come up with and stuff like that, with everybody scrambling for players and stuff like that, and the fantasy football and stuff, the fantasy football side, But Pittsburgh, they're a solid team, and I think that would be a factor in starting him for me.
Gotcha. So no Jordan Love to be started against the Steelers. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your quarterback recommendations for Week 10, Season 2 of Ben's Fantasy Football League. Bill King's Fantasy Football League in accordance with NFL.com 2023 season. Let's start with the running backs. Tim, you got the first go-round with the running backs, my good man.
All right.
Bijan Robinson to be started against the Cardinals. Your thoughts on that?
Bijan Robinson. Arizona did surprise me, even though their record isn't that strong. The way they played against Dallas, and they've had some good games, like Michael said. And Bijan has been iffy a little bit because Tyler Algier has been put in at times, and it's taken away some of what Bijan has been able to do. So it's just because he was, he's such a high draft pick and he has so much potential, I would probably play him anyway. But I know that my expectations wouldn't be super high. But I would still put him in.
So it sounds to me like Tyler Algier is coming for his position back.
Sounds like it is. It's looking like it.
You know what I'm saying? He wants
Yep.
his position back because he was there before Bijan was. Now Bijan done did his thing. He has solidified himself a contract with the Falcons next season, in my opinion. But Tyler Algier wants to make sure he's not forgotten. Brian, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'd start him too, but I mean, it has been frustrated because I mean, like in the beginning of the seat, like the first few games, he's been red hot, and then all of a sudden now it's just kind of staggering off. And Tyler Algier, I mean, I don't know, but Tyler Algier is like 50-50 because I mean, I have him as well on Glick's fantasy football. I have both Robinson and Algier, and I have them both start. I have them both on there, but then their numbers are low because they're sharing the workload,
They're sharing the workload,
but they're still not getting enough. They're still not getting enough because I mean, I have Jonnu Smith as well, so the tight end's got to get some love, and so I mean, it's just kind of like I'm looking at them as a filler for right now.
So, Brian, would you agree with, I'm just going to say something, and I'm not being a smart ass or doing zingers for once.
for once.
The league right now, the way they win is they have 8 to 10 people who can get 50 yards on a team. It's no longer one back doing 300 yards. It's rare, unless it's a blowout.
That's fair.
So every team now has highly skilled people that can get, with eight touches, they can get maybe 50 yards.
At best.
At best. Bijan, I think, is hurt. He looks like his stride is not the same. He used to be able to stop on a dime and make people look foolish. So I think there's some kind of injury there. It could just be a tweaked knee, a hamstring.
Yeah, because according to like ESPN, they're saying like he had like last week he had Robinson had 11 carries for 51 yards in week 9, and was involved in the passing game, recording a pair of receptions for 8 yards. He continues to split the backfield workload with Tyler Algier, and despite a favorable week 10 home matchup against the Cardinals, Robinson is best treated as a running back 2 with an upside. So,
I mean, injury prone, injury due. Either way, you do want to start him. He's been one of the top running backs out there. You're going to see the fantasy managers frustrated if you read the narrative. I would still start him against the Cardinals. I truly would.
I would still start him.
His projected points are 10, and it seems like every other game. He had a bad game last week, and the way he's been playing this season is like every other week he has a good game. So he's on board to possibly have a good game. If he gets the same amount of touches and all that from with the ball.
Gotcha. Rashad White of the Bucks. Start him against the Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it, Brian. Go.
No, because like when Tampa Bay played Houston, he was really challenging the defense. I mean, he scored a touchdown, got a good amount of yards. I mean, I would start him. Yeah.
Gotcha. Rich, what you think about this?
We'll start the last guy. This guy's projected more points, and what Brian said, I would definitely start him. Yes, against. How come they don't have them together? This is the same teams, right?
Yeah, but they're doing different position.
Okay.
Different position. Mike, what you think?
I love watching. How do you pronounce his first name?
Rashad White.
Rashad.
I was going to say something else, so I'm glad I said, well, okay. Mr. White. I find him extremely exciting to watch. He looks like a person that has not yet found his stride in the league.
Good point.
And he could be really effective in the playoffs if he stays healthy. And I'm seeing that with so many great young backs. So as long as they say, because you don't know nowadays, if all they need is a seam and they're gone.
Yes.
They're gone.
Breece Hall did that a few games ago. He found a hole in that damn defense and he was gone.
All they need is a seam and they're gone.
Which one?
I hear a beautiful voice in the background that sounds very similar to mine.
You're bugging. Gentlemen, I've got no debate against
Show your gratitude.
Ramondre Stevenson of the Patriots against the Colts. Now, this is going to be a little controversial. Ramondre Stevenson can get his numbers, but the Patriots aren't the best team out there.
I thought you were going to play clips there for a second.
No, it scrolled up on me. It does that on this site. Even against the Colts, I will still have a little bit of a hesitation. Tim, your thoughts on this one?
I tend to stay away from Patriots players in general, just because Belichick is so he plays so much chess, and especially the running backs. That's just me. So I don't know that I've ever played a Patriots running back.
You know what's crazy?
No. You're absolutely correct on that, because it's been like that for years, and I mentioned that a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Where it's such a carousel when Sony Michel was there. So one day Sony Michel would be the starter, and then the next week Rex Burkhead would be the starter, and then the next head it would be like what was it? His last name was White, but
I know you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, but every week, and then it would be, and then this would be the most upsetting thing, where Sony Michel would start and he'd only play like the first half, and then Rex Burkhead would be the starter and finish the third and fourth quarter. So you're just kind of like, because like, and then when you're looking at it, you're like, is he hurt? But then like, oh no, they're just doing the rotation. You're like, oh, Belichick, why? So ever since then,
Yeah.
I never ever picked a running back out of the Patriots backfield, because it's just, you don't know when they're who's the official starter.
Can I add something here?
Yeah.
Is that okay? He showed greatness last week.
Oh yeah, he's a good running back. Don't get me wrong. And let me apologize. Let me apologize for cutting you off. What they just said is where the problem is. Bill Belichick has players. He don't care about your numbers. He cares about winning the game. We care about the numbers.
He's not winning though.
No, he's
not. He's not winning
the ball amongst everybody.
Yeah.
Current score of the game that's going on right now is 7-6 with
Gotcha.
In the fourth quarter, 8 minutes left.
Got you. Go ahead, Mike.
But here's the thing: it's becoming a really defensive league.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Like there's so many defensive teams, but I find a lot of teams are exhausted by the fourth, and suddenly you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in the last 10 minutes. You'd almost swear at times that it was orchestrated like a play.
You might want to think about that a little bit more. I'm not even being funny. You might want to think.
I know.
And just to add
Tim knew what I did there.
just to let you guys know, our guy here, he has 16 carries, 76 yards, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. So he's got a total of 76 yards, whatever that equates to fantasy. And it looks like we got a field goal for the Colts, so it's 10-6.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We also have James Cook of the Bills against the Broncos.
He's good.
James Cook is good.
He's good. He's solid. But the Buffalo Bills right now don't know how to run the ball.
See, there you go. You said it for me. Go.
No, but they don't know how to run the ball. They really don't. That offense, I'm really thinking they need a new coach. I'm sorry, and I've said this before. And my favorite team is the Bills, and I never say anything about the Bills. I think Josh could be on any other team and be doing better right now. And Stephon Diggs is injured, supposedly. I just read it somewhere.
I did not know that.
I think I did hear that before.
Yeah. So
I would start him. I would start him against the Broncos regardless. I would. But there's something bothering me.
But the locker room is more important than you think.
Of course. They emphasize that they've been emphasizing that for decades on sports talk. They've been emphasizing the locker room more than anything.
Like before we do a show here, we all get therapy because we know it's going to be a battle.
I have to meditate before I bring you on the broadcast.
That's right.
Just for the record, if you need a deeper option, Khalil Herbert of the Bears versus Carolina. Khalil Herbert was brought up to me as a sleeper pick a couple seasons ago. I'll be keeping my eyes on him as far as a player. He'll get numbers once in a blue moon. I have to say it like that on purpose. If you have backs, grab him.
And then because I have Deontay Foreman. However, I did keep my eye on Khalil, but they're just saying like he might be coming back, or he might start, or he might not. He did participate in the practices, but he only do like maybe about 3/4 of practice. So I still have Deontay Foreman. but Deontay Foreman only had that one awesome game where he did 3 touchdowns. And then after that, it was just kind of just plateaued. And then also, too, you have a rookie quarterback who's still trying to figure it out.
Right.
As you saw Thursday night.
Let me be honest with everybody out here. They say if you need a deeper option, I have to 100% agree with this. If you run out of running back options, grab him. He's good to sit on the bench. He's all right if you pick him up off the waiver wire. He just doesn't get any numbers. Honestly, he does not get any numbers. Running backs to sit. Gus Edwards against the Browns. Something about that Browns defense may be an aspect. Go for it, Brian. Say what you say.
That front 7.
Go for it.
They're strong. They're strong on the run.
There it is. Tell what you think.
I mean, you got Myles Garrett, like just hungry, and you got the other guys out there. You got, I think what Sweat is on that team now.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, I believe so.
I mean, like that defense is really beefed up. So that front 7, that it's hard to run the ball.
There you go. Tim, your thoughts.
yeah, I agree. I would sit him. I wouldn't play Gus Edwards either. He's in a big timeshare split as well, and you don't know necessarily how that plays out with them. But I haven't been a huge fan of the running backs in Baltimore anyway, in general.
Gotcha. Mike?
I disagree with both of you, and I'll tell you why. Cleveland right now has so many injured players. It is freaking ridiculous. It is insane. And most of them are starters. Like back, groin, knee, concussion, shoulder, toe. That's what happens when you put your toe in the wrong place.
Rich,
Knee.
your turn.
Can we show this? Like, it's insane. I've never seen so many injuries.
I'll bring it up afterwards. Hold on to the end.
All
Rich,
right, hold on. So I don't think Cleveland's going to be the Cleveland we know. Sorry.
What do we do with this dude?
I would beg to differ. I think again, this is going to be a strong defensive.
I think
agree. I think I would agree with Tim on the running backs because I think Lamar Jackson will get more running. He gets more yardage than the running backs and stuff like that. So, but that's after the play opens up and develops and stuff. But the running backs, that's Cleveland's front line, injured or not injured. I don't know. And again, the running backs, they have not scored tremendous points. I mean, they're averaging anywhere from 4 to 10 points fantasy. So it's, take your pick, I guess.
Except for Zach Moss. Zach Moss has been putting up numbers. He's the first running back.
Yeah, true.
Running backs in fantasy football. Okay, we got ads on Twitch. I didn't realize that. Thank you, Mel.
I just want to add one thing here. The reason their running game can be good is because Lamar is so feared. He is a distraction. That's the thing. Like, he can go anytime. So they're watching him more than they're watching. They need to run more. The problem is half the teams don't run enough. Like, if you go back to old football, the guy's got like 40, 50 carries. And yeah, of course they got the yards. And every once in a while they'd have a run and it would be 45 yards. Well, that's going to help your average.
You know what's crazy? When you say that, they're watching Lamar. The offensive line has to protect them because you know who they kind of compare Lamar to. They used to play football. Michael Vick. He had to run the ball because they didn't have protection in their eyes. That's the kicker. So the other members of the team can't get the ball. I don't know if it's because he can't throw or if he holds the ball too long or if it's offensive line. It's one of those three. But everybody gets Lamar Jackson. Y'all got to remember, he got hurt a couple seasons ago and that team was destroyed. They better build up to protect him.
He loves that team now. Oh my God! Whatever they're paying him,
he's taking it.
He loves the team.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave at all. He doesn't want to leave at all.
When they were sitting him out, he was running around like a kid at Christmas. He was so happy. And it's like it's like Tim said. If they can watch film on you long enough, they can figure out your patterns. Problem with him is he never does the same thing twice.
You ain't supposed to. That's being a professional. You're not predictable. That's what makes you a professional.
Right.
It's like when you talk fast, we know what's going to happen next. It's not good. But
if you rewind it, you'll hear exactly what I said because I understand I'm always
You have to rewind it to understand what you said.
of the Texans and Devin Singletary, the Texans against the Bengals. This is Siddons, right? Yeah, this is Siddons.
Yeah,
They
that's
said both
definitely
against the
true.
Bengals. I think this is going to be a tribute to the Bengals defense. I said it last week. The Bengals are back. Texans are no joke. Texans are doing real good, but the Bengals are back.
So it'll be a defensive matchup. So pretty much, I would hate it if it gets decided by field goal again. Because those two back-to-back losses by field goal. Oh man.
Yeah. They used to happen to Carolina back in the 2000s.
I'm only down to a little portion of my bourbon right now because I was so angry.
He's a little low on the Woodford Reserve.
So I'm sitting there like, yeah, because like think about it. I mean, against Atlanta, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
And then against Tampa Bay. I mean, then against the other Tampa Bay. Like, come on already.
Exactly.
It's gonna be like that because I mean, you got both strong defenses and everything. So it's just mainly the offense. So
it's no disrespect to the Texans. They're having a hell of a season. Let's just be real. They're having one hell of a season, and they're going up against, and I'm gonna say it again, a Super Bowl contender. Actually, a Super Bowl pick. Your favorites are going to be Kansas City and Philly as the Super Bowl contenders or the Super Bowl standards. But a Super Bowl pick should be the Bengals. The Bengals and the Bills are up there.
Yeah, the big thing, though, Tony, to look at for these two running backs is the line that says Texas running backs are averaging 3.1 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not going to be a lot of fantasy points right there. So I can see why they set them. That's right there. That's,
I think here's what's scary. Let's do this properly. The Texans can win that game. Y'all do know that, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they're in a position this season to be one of the major upsets of the weekend.
But this isn't Cincinnati, and I think Cincinnati is gonna Burrows. He's cranking, man. He's just I don't think.
Hey, Rich, you know what? No disrespect. So is CJ Stroud.
I know, but this is a whole. You got to factor in the home field. Okay, Cincinnati is one of those things.
I give it, and I want to factor in both teams feeling good.
They stumbled at the beginning, and they're coming into it just like they did. They're doing a repeat of last year where they were
But mind you, CJ Stroud threw 470 yards and 5 touchdowns
against who?
Tampa Bay.
Who's
exactly?
Is he going to do it against Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Is he going to do it against Cincinnati?
Who knows? I mean.
I think that last week was sort of like when the Broncos beat the Chiefs as a one, or the Miami. Yeah, Broncos beat.
It's a one-off.
Miami got that. It's a one-off. Yeah, exactly.
Let me do this.
I want to hear what Tim says here. Tim.
I'm gonna get to Tim. Give me this. Here's the kicker. Do you remember what happened in the Super Bowl when they was up against the Rams? The Rams had to win off of the short pass. They couldn't throw against them, and they could barely run against them.
Yeah.
Do not sleep on the Bengals defense. Go ahead, Tim.
When you have a quarterback that's doing what Stroud's doing, you would think it makes it easier for the running back. And I remember Miles Sanders saying last year that his job has never been easier since Jalen Hurts performed the way that he did last year. Mm-hmm. And even with that, they still are at 3 yards a carry. So it's either the way that they run the offense, or they just don't know how to function in that offensive scheme. I don't know what it is, but I just would not mess with them because they just aren't getting it done. And when you know there's a quarterback behind the center that can put the ball down the field the way he does, the defense usually loosens up a little bit just to protect themselves.
I forgot about that.
It still isn't working.
Good point.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think what we're forgetting again is the younger teams are going to have less fatigue as we go on. They're going to heal faster. Unfortunately, if you look at the injuries, the Bengals have a lot of injuries as well and key players.
Keep going.
So I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be fun to watch, and that's what should matter. It shouldn't be all about fantasy. But, with my slow brain, I have to process.
Yeah, you're new to this, so we'll just keep going. Kareem Hunt, sit him against the Ravens. I got no debate against this because Kareem Hunt hasn't been the same since he left the Chiefs. Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
I'd sit him.
Y'all That's a no-brainer.
Both of them Panthers. That's all you have
Yeah.
to say.
Herbert and Miles Sanders. See, I couldn't sit neither one of these running backs against the Bears, except for one thing: the Bears have always had a decent defense.
And the thing about it is too, I started both of Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Foreman, and
this was Thursday night's game, was it not?
Yeah. Deontay Foreman only got me 15 points, and Chuba Hubbard only got me 3.
There you go.
Did you say only 15 points?
Yeah, he said only. You heard that, right?
Only
Yeah,
15
that's
points.
what I thought I
That's
said.
above average. That's more than 10. So
He
that's
was
what they
projected for 11 though. He was projected for 11, but he got me 15 points. So I'm like,
He
all
did
right,
his
fine.
part. He did his part. The Bears defense will stop you. Don't be fooled. The
But again, you got the rookie quarterback.
This was Thursday night's game, if I remember correctly. The Bears won 16
it was
13.
Thursday night's game.
It was a very low scoring game. I didn't see a bunch of the numbers.
It was defense.
All defense. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those are your running back predictions for week 10 of the 2023 season, of course, NFL.com.
And Tina DeFeroza says the 2 games I'm watching today are she picks the 49ers and the Cowboys.
That's going to be a tough one. Gotcha.
Who's got that, you think?
If the 49ers have the injuries that they have, I'm going to take Dallas.
You like Dallas, don't you?
Yeah, I like Dallas.
You like this story. You like
if
this
the
story.
49ers have injuries, I'm going to take Dallas, yes.
Well, the 49ers need a win like nobody's business. What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, they do. So, as a Cowboys fan, with those, I would definitely lean with the Cowboys myself.
Definitely
today. Yeah. And the 40. Well, let me go back. So are you all talking about them playing one another, or just the games that they're playing today?
I don't think they're playing together. Are they playing today this week?
No, they aren't. That's why I was making
San
sure.
Francisco, Jacksonville is playing at 1.
Right.
Okay, so they're not playing each other.
I was just making sure that was the context.
But those are the 2 games that she's going to watch: the 49ers game and the Cowboys game.
I was going. This doesn't sound like the right week, but I was.
Yeah, we got it, Tina. So you throw everybody off. I got my focus on, so I apologize, everybody.
That's all right. But that's a great game. I'd watch that game every week.
I can't even catch every damn game. I'll be trying to. Start them and sit on wide receivers. Christian Kirk of the shit.
Yeah.
The Jaguars against the 49ers. Oh my God.
I would say yes, because I'm starting him in my other ESPN league. But
I got him too. I got him in one of my leagues too.
Then on the nonsensical, dude, it's a tough choice because I have Michael Pittman Jr., Terry McLaurin, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Adam Thielen. Like, who do I pick
on this game? I mean, with that roster, I probably would have took Kirk.
Because right now, like
the only reason I wouldn't have taken Thielen
14.4, and I got 14.5.
Out of all the people you got, the only reason I wouldn't have taken Thielen is because he was going up against the Bears.
Yeah, Thielen got 10.2, and he was projected for 15.2.
That's good for Thielen against the Bears on Carolina.
but it's like I have Terry McLaurin, and then I have D Hop. I mean,
D Hop's not getting the ball enough. I'll be here all day on that one.
No. They're starting. They're going forward with Levis.
I know, but still.
Hey, I mean, anything can happen. I'm being optimistic.
Not
Brian. Brian, do you like Levis?
His first game. I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns to D Hop. I mean, like impressive. And then he had a pretty good showing against Pittsburgh, as tough as Pittsburgh was. Mm-hmm. Even though they lost, but he put up a good showing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain what D-Hop is to those who don't think it's a kangaroo?
DeAndre Hopkins is the wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans, former Houston Texan, former Arizona Cardinal, now a Tennessee Titan.
Yes,
playing way above his abilities right now. I think he's doing great.
The man has insane hands.
The man's a beast.
Yes,
he's a beast.
Yeah,
I will start Christian Kirk against the 49ers, mainly because he's on the Jaguars. Christian Kirk used to also be on the Cardinals. He's on my watch list as one of the up-and-coming wide receivers because he's new to the league. Within 5 years, I say that on purpose. Watch him. You may want to keep your eyes on him as a wide receiver. That man's going to be a future. He's going to be one of the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL, in my opinion. DeAndre Hopkins, here we go against the Bucks. I got no question.
Oh, I no problem. He's got some good stats.
And Brian was just talking about it. Mike was just asking about it. Y'all go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you got more questions? Go ahead and ask him.
No, because this will be a 5-hour broadcast if we continue what I'm doing.
I'm glad you know.
So I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to be respectful.
You're doing 5, man. I'm just narrowing it down.
Let's go for 8.
I'm not going for 8. No. I do see starting.
Let's go for 10.
Where's Glick? Where's Glick?
We'll break Glick's record. We'll go 10 hours.
He should be asleep. I hope he's making money off of all them damn hours. Michael Pittman of the Colts. Brian, you just brought him up again. Michael Pittman of the Colts against the Patriots. How do you not start him? Would be my question.
Yeah, because right now, Michael Pittman, even though it's like 2 minutes 30 seconds left in the fourth, he's projected for 8, but he's got 7, so he scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's 10-6, fourth quarter, 2.2 minutes 30 seconds.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. He has right now, currently in this game, 7 receptions, 75 yards, 10.7 yards average, no touchdowns, but 11 targets.
Gotcha.
Game's almost over, 2.5 minutes. They throw the ball. They get the first. Nope, they got stopped. 1 yard shy.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
10-6, still Indiana.
Thank you, sir. Tyler Lockett of the Seahawks over the Commanders. I'd start him.
He was completely shut down last week.
He was shut down, but him and DK Metcalf are going to be the saviors of the franchise with Geno Smith. If he doesn't connect to them, they're screwed.
Yeah, but Washington's defense is still tough.
Yes,
they're not like ridiculously like awesome tough, but they are tough.
They are a problem. I agree with that. Tim, your thoughts?
Thank you.
I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is getting more involved in the game, and that may play a factor with Tyler Lockett because Tyler Lockett hasn't been the same Lockett as he was of old here lately. So I think that's a concern and a risk with him.
Do you think he still has it to play though? I think he does.
I think he's probably he's a possession receiver more so than he was a threat down the field previously. That's what I think. So I think he still has the ability to get open.
So he was the possession receiver, and DK Metcalf was the deep threat.
The deep threat, right?
That's what tandem was. That's what makes them predictable. I agree with that 100%.
He needs to be on a team like the Chiefs where they need him 6 times. That's it, a game.
Would you say the Chiefs would be the only team he needs to go to with that same mentality?
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying he has better skill sets than most of the players that they currently have. But you can't overwork him because he's old. Sorry.
I hear you. I just think he still has it.
No, he does. He does. Okay.
Hi, Melanie.
Tony, if you were in a fight now, you'd probably be great for what, a minute?
Depends on who I'm fighting.
Right. You could do rage mode for a minute. Right? You could go red for 1 minute. When you were younger, you could have went 5 minutes, maybe, right? That's what I'm saying. He has it, but it's a smaller dosage. Are we going to Nico now?
We're about to. Okay. I like what you were saying, though, honestly. Nico Collins of the Texans and Tank Dell of the Texans against the Bengals. These are stardoms? Yeah. Okay, now this is Brian's world. Brian brought both of these gentlemen up a few weeks ago. I don't want to debate it. The only debate I have, like I said earlier, is who they're playing. The Bengals.
Yeah, but also too, as throughout the whole season, against going tough defense, they still get their yards. They still get the result, and then on
they're
top
still
of that,
getting the numbers regardless of the score. That's what I need to hear more than anything. That's what a lot of fantasy football players, managers need to hear. If your players are still getting their numbers, win or lose, that is what matters, and that's why they are predicting them to get in the game. They may not win the game, but they will get downfield. I'm actually challenging the fact that they'll get downfield and not get intercepted. CJ Stroud is going to be one of the best quarterbacks out there. I think he's going to get about
Tank Dell scored the winning touchdown.
Yeah, I think he's going to get about 2 or 3 picks this game. I think he's going to take CJ Stroud's numbers.
You're missing a point here, though, guys. You're missing a point. You're missing a huge point here.
Helen, I'm not
because of the quarterback. We now have 2 rising stars. Now Nico is slightly injured. Tank Tank has the ability to be Pro Bowl now. Really does. He just needs more touches. And he's one of those guys that if he gets it, he can score from anywhere. He's one of those, you give him the seam, he's not old. He's got fresh legs, and as this season goes on, the young guys heal faster. And because he's has such a cool collective quarterback who thinks kind of like our friend here, Tim. I wonder. I know CJ doesn't have the smooth voice though, but that's what they all say. Is that he is so good under fire.
Mike.
Everyone around him, their game is elevated, and
Good point.
Brady was the same. I'm not saying he's Brady.
He elevated everybody's game. Brady elevated everybody's game. We can't deny that.
And then also too, Noah Brown.
Yeah, we can't deny that after watching him for 20 years in the NFL. Everybody loves playing with him. Everybody wanted to be his teammate. So he elevated everybody around him. He will go down in history for that. I'll never take that away from him as much as I hate the Patriots.
But Brian, do you agree? Tank is got the potential to be a Pro Bowler.
I think both of them.
Oh yeah, his name's in the hat. I mean, like this is like a very good year for him.
But nobody knew of these two players, and so many analysts are laughing, saying we didn't see it. We didn't see any of this.
No one knew Tank Dell because he came from the University of Houston. And yes, I said it.
What is that? You doing a bear claw there? What was that?
No, that's what we do. University of Houston.
Oh, okay. I like bear claw donuts.
So yeah, I mean, but yeah, Tank Dell's making a name for himself. Nico Collins, I mean, he's making a name for himself. I mean, that we're good. And then with the addition of Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz.
Yeah. Wide open.
Dalton Schultz coming, like we got Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys. So.
Dalton Schultz. I can't believe Dallas got rid of him. Dallas has lost their damn mind getting rid of him and Zeke. Lost their damn mind getting rid of both of them. I got nothing.
As far as these two guys going against the Bengals, I think I picked the Bengals, but the verbiage there, there's three words: need to score. Need to score. These two guys, because of the matchup, they need to be utilized. If they're utilized and they connect, they're going to get some big fantasy point scores.
You know what's crazy?
Just like they did last week. And
both of them got to hit the end zone one time apiece. That's it.
Well, it depends on what happens with Cincinnati. That's the factor that we don't know right now. I think this has potential to be a good game, but need to score, and they're coming off of a bye. As far as that guy goes, there's the Bengals coming off the bye, but Bengals are going to be tough. They're getting tougher each week. So and just looking at the narrative there, but that need to score. They need to score. If they don't, then they're going to be crap, and you're going to be regretting starting either one.
We could have done a show, guys, on this game. It is going to be. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great game to watch.
There's two games we could do a show on. This one and the Chargers game too. All jokes aside, if you need a deeper option, Tim just brought him up. Smith and Jigma. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, he's coming on. He's starting to get more targets. He's putting up a few more points. You know, he hasn't really been over 10 very often, but things are starting to turn for him, I believe. And it doesn't appear as though Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf have been as explosive or as they aren't contributing on the same level that they were. And it may not even be their fault, but they're shifting a little bit, I think. And
I have to agree.
As a sleeper, I would even potentially I would definitely be okay having him on the roster, and I would be willing to consider him for sure.
Exactly. No question. Even against the Commanders, I agree. Siddums, Christian Watson of the Packers against the Steelers. Of the Packers against the Steelers. I hate to say it. I have no debate on this one. I have no debate. Christian Watson was also brought to my attention in the beginning of the season, and now the Green Bay Packers are falling apart. I can't debate this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen?
I agree.
Rich, you good with that?
Well, his projection is 6 points, and what he did last week was it's just against LA Rams. He had 4 points there, I guess, and he's got a projection above his average and stuff. But given they're going against Pittsburgh, like I said, I got Pittsburgh. They got a strong defensive, and I think Pittsburgh's going to be taking. They're going to be picking. There's going to be a couple quick pick sixes on that game. I think with Pittsburgh.
Gotcha. Mike had to step out for a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Not a problem. He'll probably be back when he gets a chance. We got to sit him. Brian, you got any disagreements on this?
Sit him.
Damn right. Zay Flowers of the Ravens against the Browns. This is Brian's man. They say sit him. Go for it. Tell me why we should not.
I still start him. I still start him.
Tell me why we should not would be my question.
You should not sit him simply because Lamar Jackson will find a way. Because if Mark Andrews is his Mark Andrews is his number one go-to, and then if he's occupied, Zay Flowers will definitely find a way to get open.
Gotcha. Tim, what do you think?
So it might be a slant. I mean, because they might have to use Zay Flowers like in a Wes Welker, Julian Edelman role, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or what was the other guy? Danny Amendola. Use him in that type of role.
I like that. A little bit of a slot receiver, if you will. Rich, you good with this?
Shred you.
Say against the Browns, set them.
Gotcha.
Start 'em.
Let me say this because Beth was talking about how banged up everybody was on the Browns.
Yeah,
You still want to.
they're still going to play, and I think they'll fight through their injuries if they're not major, so they're on the field, so they're going to try and they're going to probably park it at the door, and hopefully they don't get injured any further.
Jacoby Myers with the Raiders against the Jets. Now this one I'm not too sure about. Actually, I take that back. Just defense. You got to sit Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
I got no debate. No debate.
Yeah, they put some sauce on him, and yeah.
Absolutely. Jahan Dotson. I don't even know who this guy is. At the Commanders against the Seahawks. They say sit him. Dotson started to break out. He scored a touchdown. He has more than 16 fantasy points, 2 straight games. He's a player. Definitely one of my rosters. Just not on my starting lineup. This matchup. The Seahawks have allowed the third fewest yards to receivers since week 5. Even last week when they allowed a bunch of points to the Ravens, they held, using the term lightly, Lamar Jackson to fewer than 200 passing yards. That's a damn shame. Just like the Raiders, I will still play the top option and Terry McLaurin here. Brian brought him up earlier. But I would get away from the secondary option in a tough matchup. I don't even know much about this dude. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, he's only projected 6.6 points, and so it's pretty average. He had 12 last week and 11 before, so that's below this. So I think I don't know if it's because it's going against the.
You know what? I do remember his name. I take that back. I do remember his name. His name is normally on the bench when you're going through the waiver wire halfway through the season. I do remember his name. Now they just said he started to break out. He started getting the ball every now and then, but just not this game. I'm good with that. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your wide receiver picks for week 10 of the 2023 season, of course, NFL.com. Now we're going to get down to the tight ends. This is where it starts to get crazy. Once my page reloads.
Kincaid, definitely start him.
Which one? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but
That's no question there on that one.
He hasn't even been getting the ball enough for a lot of the expectations a lot of us have. But he's on a team that can do it. And he's going against a team that we don't think is going to stop him. I got no debate against this.
None at all.
Brian?
Start him.
Rich?
No, definitely start him. He's I remember a couple weeks ago you highlighted this guy, and then I'm watching the game and I said, that's the guy Tony was talking about. So ever since then, I mean, he's on my radar as far as tight ends as much as Kelsey is there.
Yeah, he's up there. He's going to be up there. Taysom Hill of the Saints against the Vikings. Let me tell y'all something. Don't start him.
Army knife.
Don't start him if you want to.
Anymore, Brian.
Don't start him if you want to, and drop him off your roster if you want to. I would pick Taysom Hill up in a minute.
Yeah.
He's a dual threat offensive player.
Awesome player.
Quarterback and tight end, I believe he is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, all of that. He was listed as a quarterback and tight end last year.
Yes, he was.
Yep.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I'd say like in our league, I have Justin Ferguson for Dallas as tight end, and then I also have Taysom Hill, but I'm starting Ferguson. And then see, that's what I'm saying. Like I have good players, but it's like, dang, which one do I manage to put in? And then in my other league, I have Taysom. In my other NFL league, I have Taysom Hill as well, but then I have Sam Laporta. So it's like, well, that sucks. And then on my ESPN league, I don't have. Oh, on this one, I have Travis Kelce and Jake Ferguson. And then on my other one, on the nonsensical, I have Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce and Taysom Hill.
Gotcha.
So, but I already have D-Hop as my flex because I'm already starting Michael Pittman and Terry McLaurin.
So you got everything wide open as far as your positions. Got it.
It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't.
I got to start, especially against the Vikings. I got to start. Dalton Schultz. Here we go against Texas once again. This must be one of the big games of the week right here. We keep seeing these players and these teams popping up. Has anybody else noticed that?
I have.
We keep seeing the both of them come up. I'm gonna start them, even against the Bengals. Dalton Schultz, he was a beast. He was a beast in Dallas. He's going to be a beast with the Texans.
Right.
And he's
You
going
want to know why?
Why?
Because he's Jay Novacek 2.0.
Pretty much. Sorry, gentlemen. I got nothing on this one. I'm just going to go to the next one. Cole Kemet. Let me tell y'all something. If you're not watching this man as a tight end, you might want to change your focus a little bit, or at least add him to your peripheral. Cole Kemet has been putting up numbers. Him and Zach Moss have been two of the surprising players in fantasy football that I've seen, because they are both getting serious double-digit numbers, and I do mean he had 27 points as a tight end a couple weeks ago. I didn't see that coming. I think I had him on the bench, and I'm still mad at myself. But the reason why I had him on the bench because he plays for the Bears.
Right. And Fields was out, right?
I think Fields was out, but Cole Kemet came in and saved the day. I got no debate against this. Anyone?
And I guess that's the ideal time, though, when the starter's out, to look at the tight end on a team like that, because they become that security blanket for the incoming quarterback.
In certain teams, I agree. Brian, you got any debate on this?
No.
Rich?
But I do want a Julius Peppers jersey now. He's one of my favorites.
What do you think, Rich?
Hey, man, defensive ends, bro. It's the brotherhood.
Rich, are you on mute? Rich is on mute. No wonder he hasn't seen anything.
He's on mute.
There I am. I was wondering. I said I'm talking here, and they don't hear me.
I'm gonna get on you and your equipment next season. Me and you and your equipment.
Cole, he's projected lower than the previous individual there, Schultz. I was wanting to say about Schultz being Houston. I think the tight end is going to be the same thing what I said about the two receivers there for Houston. They need to score. If they don't score, they're going to be junk and stuff. So I don't know. It's a mixed bag. This guy, I guess, the game, the Bears, I don't think the tight end was that much of a factor and stuff, but I probably would have, that game, it was mostly field goals though on the game and stuff like that. So it's just the quarterback woes on the Panthers there. You got a first string that's not really, but it's his first year, so they're cutting him a break. The kid that did quarterback for the Bears, that's a story. Fourth string coming in, and he was able to handle it. But it was all field goals on that game. So.
Gotcha.
I guess this was what Ted called the toilet bowl. It's just like, if you had somebody better, maybe I guess to pick of a different game or something like that. But it's a Thursday night game, so you never know on the Thursday night games.
You don't. Cade Otten of the Bucks against the Titans. If you need a streamer, Cade Otten, I've had a little bit of a focus on him on my watch list to come up when a couple of the other tight ends were acting up. He's quickly becoming a fan favorite of Bucks fans and my grandma. That's hilarious, by the way. He had a potential breakout game last week, going for 70 yards, 2 scores, dropping 23 fantasy points. See, there you go. I think he was out there a little bit when Gronk was there. There was another tight end that the Bucks had. I forgot what his name was.
Oh, he's with the tech. Well, I don't know. He was with the Texans, but
Came from Alabama.
I forgot his name.
he had
OJ
really,
Howard.
yeah,
Was it OJ Howard or was it somebody
OJ
else?
Howard.
OJ Howard was there before Gronk got there. There was
Well,
another
yeah,
Cameron Brate.
he was
Cameron Brate
he
is the
was
one.
there before Gronk
Cameron,
got there, but then they gave Gronk the starting position when he was our OJ Howard was the starter.
I'm thinking about Cameron Brate. Cade Otton was
Break.
after
Yeah,
him.
that's okay. Break.
Cameron Brate
Yeah.
was the other tight end, but Cade Otton's coming in there, and I don't know where Brate is. OJ Howard, I do remember him. Like I said, he was there before Gronk got there, and then Gronk took over. Gronk kind of went there just to block. OJ Howard was there as like a receiver tight end, if you will. And somebody may have to fact check me on that. But Cade Otton, y'all might want to keep your eyes on him too. He's going to be the future of the tight ends for that franchise. And like I said, he's a fan favorite amongst the Bucks. He's going to be there for a minute. They better not trade him. They're going to piss people off if they do. I think he's worth it. Y'all keep him in your back pocket. I don't see him getting double-digit points. I think he'll be one of those red zone touchdown tight ends.
He's projected for 4 or 5 points. You look at last week's game against Houston when they're losing effort. He did receive two touchdowns. So that's right there for tight end. That's pretty decent.
Exactly.
So
for him down there and for people seeing tight ends outside of Gronk for that team, he's going to be there for a minute. Sit him. Kyle Pitts of the Falcons. I hate to say this. I got to agree. However, at my most hard-headedness, I would still start because they're going up against the Cardinals. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
I'm comfortable sitting him.
I mean, because Ritter is still, he's still evolving. I mean, the other guys are still. Kyle Pitts, he's getting them. Jonnu Smith is still getting his receptions. I mean,
I don't see why you wouldn't. Go ahead, Rich.
I don't see why you wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, and then on top of that too,
he's projected for 6 points. Last week didn't do much better than that against Minnesota. So I don't know. It just the matchup on the game there, him against I don't know the Cardinals. Even though they're 1-8, you never know what you're going to get with them.
But here's the crazy part. And according to the narratives, of course, he's been sitting in the back seat to Jonnu Smith. I get
well, that's true. Okay, so he's got somebody they want
that.
better out
And
there.
Jonnu Smith is one of the more enduring tight ends.
So he's a tight end waiting in the wings.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
man,
is.
Multi-purpose as well.
Jonnu Smith is just a beast, dude. I mean, out of all the tight ends, as far as like body stature size, he's a juggernaut. Height wise, I would give it to Eric Ebron. Which where in the hell is Eric Ebron anyway? He's a damn good tight end as well.
I don't know, but
he should be retired by now, I would think.
You might want to
keep
Kyle
Pitts in the
Pitts
league
on
8
bench.
years.
You might want to keep Kyle Pitts on your bench in the event Jonnu Smith goes down. You just might want to. They just drafted him a couple seasons ago, so he's in the wings waiting. David Njoku, the Browns, sit him against the Ravens. You know what?
I would say start him.
I like him as a tight end. Yeah, he's.
I would say start him.
You might want to keep him on your roster.
He's got a touchdown in the last 2 games he's played. So
yeah, you might want to keep him.
But also too. Here's the thing: when it comes to tough defenses, tight ends are the one that normally can help crack the tough defenses.
Yes,
it's been proven time and time again.
Yes,
which is why Dalton Schultz is going to light it up. Which is why Jake Ferguson is going to light it up.
He goes the campaign.
For all the tight ends in the league that are going against tough defenses, they're going to light it up.
You're right. Michael Mayer of the Raiders, they say sit him against the Jets. Is it? Yeah, it sits. It's because of the Jets defense. I got no debate against this.
Mm-hmm.
That's mainly because of the Jets.
He might light it up.
I don't know if he will, but he's got. It's that Jets defense.
Okay. All right. If he gets one pass for a first down,
Brian,
10, 11, 12 yards.
It's the Jets defense. Just stop. It's the Jets defense. I'm
Who's playing quarterback?
I'm not.
Well, the Raiders?
Raiders, yeah. That's the question I want. Who's the quarterback for the Raiders?
I'm not sure. Y'all get a chance, pull that up, please. I'm not sure. Juwan Johnson of the Saints. Now, this happened last week with him. Didn't they say sit him last week?
I think so.
He's someone that I would have on the roster if you had the space for it, because just like last year, he came on strong in maybe the last quarter to third of the season, and he kind of lit it up. he's been hurt this year, and he didn't start the season off that strongly, but he was probably already dealing with an injury, and they didn't deal with it until they sat him out. But he's someone that he gets looks in the offense.
Yeah, he does.
80 and O'Connell is that the quarterback?
Yeah, 80 and O'Connell. So pretty much, according to ESPN, they're projecting him at 11.1 points. And what they said about him is it says that we saw a season high 30 points on the NFL scoreboard from the Raiders this past Sunday after averaging just 15.8 points per game over the first 2 months. Kudos to Connell for his part in the improvement. That said, there's no way you can start him against a top Jets defense.
Thank you.
However, though, the spin, O'Connell started the second game of the season after interim head coach Antonio Pierce shook up the quarterback depth chart and demoted Jimmy G this week. The rookie wasn't directly involved in any of Las Vegas' 3 trips to the end zone,
Wow.
but he didn't cause any turnovers, and that was accurate when asked to extend drives. O'Connell figures to have earned another start against the Jets next Sunday, following this week's crooked score, but he doesn't yet carry enough upside to be considered outside of a deeper fantasy league.
So let me throw this out there. Based on what I said, you don't know who's QB in the Raiders, that's fine. Here's a tight end I think I need everybody to focus on. There was a team that rarely plays tight ends, or you rarely hear about their tight ends, but they're getting numbers, and I actually saw it on the Monday night game. The New York Jets tight end, Tyler Conklin. You might want to keep him on your watch list. I'm noticing he's getting the ball a little bit more. New York Jets tight ends don't normally get numbers. I actually saw a season where one of the tight ends got 1,000 yards. It confused the hell out of me. I'm like, when the hell did he get those yards? New York Jets tight ends normally don't get the ball. I don't get it. Keep your eyes on Conklin. See if I'm wrong. I don't recommend putting him on the roster. He did get the ball a couple times last game. They tried to give him a touchdown, and that would have blew my mind. I don't know where it came from, but that's just for me to everybody out there, something that I'm witnessing. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your tight end recommendations for Week 10, 2022 season, of course, NFL.com. I think we're about to go to defenses and kickers. Kickers. We've done defenses plenty of times. We talked about defenses all damn game, all damn broadcast. Let's go with the kickers. Young Ho Koo of the Falcons against the Cardinals. Yes. Somebody tell me why you wrong, so I can tell you why you're wrong. Let me just save you a headache. Just gonna save you a headache.
The man is like within the top 6 top kickers of the league.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. If you don't trust anybody on the Falcons, trust the damn kicker.
And what really pissed me off is when he kicked that 48-yarder against the Texans to win. That's what pissed me off
Yep,
about
there
the
you
guy.
go. Yeah.
Take the kicker. Nick Folk of the Tennessee Titans against the Bucks. Nick Folk has been around for a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
He has been around longer than Loki's been trying to fix it.
He's like part of the elite kickers.
He's been Dallas, he's been the Jets, he's been Tennessee. I think he's been Carolina.
But he's become a journeyman.
I think he was a Patriot too.
Yeah. Dude's all over the place. So that's just my thing. You want him. You want him. Brandon Aubrey, the Cowboys against Giants. Never heard of him, but he's on the Cowboys. He's going against the Giants. Take him.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Exactly.
Oh.
8 points projected.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
Looks like Ted's coming back in a second.
Yep,
Let's
he's
see
a
what else we
rookie.
got. Tyler Bass of the Bills. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Gentlemen,
solid. He's solid.
No, just stop. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sit him. Evan McPherson of the Bengals against Texans. I wouldn't.
No.
You know why? Because the Bengals are going to get to the other side of the 50.
Yeah,
They will get to the other side of the 50. Let's be clear. Both teams will make it to the opposing team's side of the field to at least get a field goal.
Except for the next guy, the Giants there. It's screwed.
They will make it to the other side of the field just to get to the field goal. Now, Randy Bullock, I wish that. Let me tell y'all something. Unless he can get a 60-foot field goal, I wouldn't take him.
No.
60-yard field goal, I wouldn't take him. Dallas Cowboys defense is no joke, and the Giants got no offense. Am I wrong?
Oh, Randy Bullock is a giant.
Yeah, no, sit him. No. That's,
Exactly.
after that one game, I don't have any faith in any kicker they put out
Exactly. Chad Ryland of the Patriots. Never
I'm
heard of
surprised
him.
he's not retired yet, as horrible as he is.
You know what's crazy about this? I think the
He
Patriots
scored
will
a couple. He kicked a couple field goals in this
I
game.
think that the Patriots will get to the other side of the field.
Yeah.
At least within field goal range, inside the field. I think the Patriots can do that. Even against the Colts. I think they can do that. We'll see as the game goes, though. I got nothing again. Cairo Santos, the Bears get to. We saw how that game went. I think the field goals won that damn game, didn't they?
Yeah. That was all field goals as far as that goes.
Mhm.
So those are pretty easy, honestly. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your kickers. Week 10, 2023 season, of course, NFL.com. I'm not going to do defense. We talked about it. Gentlemen, time for the filibuster because I know Ted's about to pop back up and Bathurst is due to get up in here and add some more of his spin to the mix. And we've got 25.
Where do we stand ranking wise, Rich?
Yeah, let me bring those up. Let me bring that up. Hang on here. Oh, Brian, you're gonna have to. I had a couple questions. I'll get it in the green room, but
Ted's on location.
I know it's like he's about to go into the game somewhere.
At New York.
Ted is on location. I got you, Rich.
Are we in the green room right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Go for it, Rich. Go for it.
Well, Tony, you won last week. I was tied with you. You had a good week. I still had a good week. I don't know how I'm doing it because it's either the first half or I do bad and I pick it up in the second half or vice versa. CBS came in second, but then you had Ted, Brian, and Michael all tying for the third spot. And Tim Fan had a bad week last week. Bad week.
Ted, mute your mic real quick, bro. Go ahead, Rich.
All right.
And our overall, and Brian, I'm not going to give you 15 wins. So
Yeah,
you need
tell
to
him
give me
again.
picks.
You ain't getting over that easy.
That wouldn't be fair to Tim Fan 40 and stuff. You would just zoom up the freaking thing. So, but overall, actually, Brian, you're doing pretty good without those picks. You're cranking up. I'm still holding up. CBS moved up. Ted moved up. Tony, you moved up a little bit as far as that game goes, and we'll see what happens in today's game because we're all pretty close as far as our picks, the overall wins and stuff like that. It's going to be some interesting games.
Gotcha. Appreciate it, Rich. Ted's got two cameras on. I think he's being greedy with the broadcast. What are you doing?
Oh, there we go. Whoa, look at this. This is nice.
Our on-field correspondent, Ted Hicks.
Ted, what you got, man?
Oh, nothing much. I just want to let you guys know Malvern is up over the Freeport Red Ravens 6-0 in the Pee Wee League. It's a tough game.
Comeback season though.
It's the comeback season, and we're here to root them on.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. Gentlemen, any closing thoughts to the week?
Looks like a beautiful day out there in New York.
Looks like New York in November.
Freezing.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little chilly, probably 30, 40 degrees and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Tim, you got any closing thoughts for the week?
I look forward to Dallas having a great game today and something to talk about next week, how great they played.
What do you think the chances, Tim, that Dallas might lose to the Giants? You think that might be an upset there, or
I'm thinking they're pretty low chances. But
this isn't Dallas and stuff. I think Dallas is going to whoop up on the Giants and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. They just have a way of surprising you, though. With Dallas, they can be so.
Well, if they lose, it's because they did it to themselves, I guess, in this game. The way it's been
Accident waiting to happen, and I hate to say it like that, but that's what Dallas is doing. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. We don't know what the hell's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't. Brian, any closing thoughts to the week?
It's going to be very interesting. I mean, now we're getting close to do or die, make a break for guys that want to go to the playoffs.
I was trying to. No, Helen, you did help. I actually did change it. It did come out better, so thank you for that. Rich, any closing thoughts yourself?
No, just another good week of football. We got some good matches. Last Thursday, before watching it, and Ted dubbed it the toilet bowl, I would say, I'll half-ass watch it. I watched the whole game. It was a really, I was just watching the quarterback and stuff the younger players play and stuff like that on that aspect. Did it have any significance? No. Is there any significance in this week's games? It's all about the wild. They're going to be talking more and more. I see about the wild card hunt now, and because I think we have an idea who's going to be marching into their divisional wins and stuff like that. So the next several games are going to be talking more and more about the wild card. So that's something I'll be focusing on some of these matchups today.
Gotcha. Tim, take this question for me, would you? What do you think about this?
David Montgomery. Yeah, I saw that. I would go David Montgomery.
I think I'm gonna go with David Montgomery. We did talk about that earlier, and I want to say what's up to CCAP22. Appreciate you coming through. Ted, any closing thoughts for the week?
Not at all. We're looking forward to another great day of football, and maybe we'll do a post-game show tonight. Maybe.
I mean, we talk about it every week, but y'all don't never respond when I throw it out there. That's all I want.
Mr. B is in the comments.
JoJo was good. Nobody responds when I talk about we're going to do a show, and nobody pops up. So we'll see how it goes.
Mr. B and I are going to, this week, hopefully, do a post-game show tonight on Belt Kings.
We'll see. Dez, thank you for coming through. JoJo, I'm about to wind it down, man. It's been 2 hours. No disrespect. Gentlemen, I appreciate you all being here. Everybody check your rosters. You got about 17 minutes before the game starts. Check your rosters. I hope what we did helped out with the week. I hope it helps with your numbers. I hope it helps with your scores. I hope it helps with your records, honestly. Rich, appreciate you. Tim, plug yourself, please.
Oh, I am Tim Brown, and I host the space on X, also known as, X, formerly known as Twitter, and it's called Confident Speaking. And you can find me at Simply Tim TV on pretty much any of the platforms that I use, but X is the primary one that I use, and I do that space weekly. We have a lot of people from around the world coming to learn about confident speaking, becoming more confident and effective communicators, and that's the focus of the space.
I got you, man. I appreciate you. My man Ted, Late Night Parents, wait to follow the show, latenightparents.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I plug them every week. I've been plugging them for years. One of my main men up here live streaming, broadcasting. The first man ever asked me to co-host a podcast with him, and I do stay grateful. My man Brian, who's over there on Thailander _TX or TX Canada. Brian Dan.
American Juggernaut.
Thank you. And American, this Joker. I don't know what we're gonna do with him sometimes, but that's the original co-host.
I gotta keep it fresh.
I know. Thank you for being here. Fireman Rich, Morning Coffee on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 0530 to 0600 Eastern Daylight Time in the mornings. Y'all check him out on Twitch.
Thank you.
You all for being here. Bathurst was in the house. Appreciate him for coming through, even with his craziness and his antics and him extended my. But he had to go walk a dog. Matter of fact, you better move your foot. I hope your dog don't see it as a treat and get you. Helen, thank you for coming through. Desi, thank you for coming through. JoJo, thank you for coming through. CCAP22, thank you for coming through. Melanie, thank you for coming through. Tina DeRosa, thank you for coming through. Who are you missing? I don't want to miss anybody. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, go check your rosters. Game started 15 minutes. Week 10, Season 2, Belt Kings Fantasy Football League. Week 10 of 2023 season in the NFL. Thank you all for being here. Catch y'all next week. Peace.